Hey, it's Becca. Welcome to my channel, my home, and our foyer, which, as you can see, is in desperate need of a spring makeover. So we have 3 different areas that I'm going to be working on today. This one, and then turning around, this one, and then this one. And then walking back here to where we started. This has seen so many different furniture configurations over the last 10 years. For example, now in each of those photos, the furniture was up against the wall, right? Whether it was the console table or an accent table with a chair on each side, or the settee with a little table on each side. It was all up against the wall, which makes sense for our foyers, right? We don't hang out in our foyer. We're just kind of walking through it. It's a pass through to get to the rest of our home. Unless, have you ever seen, or do you have one of those grand foyers where you walk in and you're greeted by a big round table that has a floral arrangement on it or a much smaller vignette? I have always loved that look. And while our foyer is anything but grand, I want to see if I can pull that look off on a much smaller scale. Now in those grand foyers where I see the big round tables, normally there's a room on the right and the left, or it's open on both sides, allowing plenty of walking space around the table. Not like this. So again, this could be a huge flop, but we're just gonna play. Starting with a rug. Now I wish I could have an 8x10 in here, but because of the way the closet juts out, it kind of limits what I can do, but I think I have an idea. Faux hide rug for the win. Although I do wish it was a little bit bigger. I am a huge fan of faux hide rugs. I just added one in the kitchen. If you happen to catch my kitchen spring refresh video the other day, they are just perfect, especially for awkward shaped spaces. And now with the rug in place, it's time to add the table. All right, what do you think? This table is 29 inches. You still got room to walk around it. I centered it on the front door and that wall. Unfortunately, the columns aren't centered on the wall, so this table isn't perfectly centered in this space, and it's all because of that coat closet. But we'll just ignore that, and I say we keep going. Now I could either do a vignette here, or I could do a large floral arrangement. And because this foyer is 2 stories, I kind of feel like the floral arrangement might make a bigger impact. As for a base, I'm just gonna use what I have on hand, which is this tall glass one that I found at Target a few years ago. And I've gone ahead and filled it with eggs in all different colors, just so you kind of know the color palette that's going to be filling the rest of the house. And then to the base, I'm going to be adding these really tall faux floral stems. I love the shades of pink, then you've got the white, a little bit of yellow, and the green leaves. I love the wispiness of the branches and the varying shades of pink with the cherry blossoms. I love the height. Not a fan of seeing all of the brown branches down in the vase. I'm thankful that the eggs help to conceal them a little bit, but I am definitely on the hunt for a larger white vessel. Maybe I'll find one this weekend. Now let's do something about that wall. I've got these 3 pieces that I'm gonna hang there. And they're from Etsy. That's my favorite place to get art that you can just download and print at your favorite office supply store or Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, etc. Now, one thing I like to do just to create symmetry and a little more budget friendly is I will take the same print and I'll flip it upside down so they look like companion pieces. Or I'll get the same print and do a mirror image, which I've done here. This print with the trees on the other side is actually in our kitchen above the cooktop. I shared that in my video last week. With that side done, now we can do something over here. I've had the console table here for a few months. I really like it here. I guess it's because of the length and how it fills the wall nicely. And then up above, I usually have 3 frames that match those that I just added to the other wall. However, I'm gonna do something a little different and bring back a piece that I've had here before. And if you've been hanging out with me a while, you might recognize this print. It's from HomeGoods. I found it 9 or 10 years ago. I just love all of the colors and the balloons. You can see the people. It's just a happy print, and I love seeing it down in our foyer this time of year. With the print in place, we can work our way down. Since I've got a lot of white going on, first thing I'm gonna do is layer a runner on top. I love this really pretty green and white stripe. I think I found it at Kirkland's a few years ago. I'll link a similar one if I can, because I'm not sure that they still sell it. Times I'll just leave this wall empty, but I'm gonna go ahead and layer a mirror like I've done many times before. I just like how it bounces the light around the room. Now while it was on the ground, I went ahead and taped this cute bunny garland to the front just to add a bit of whimsy. And then for symmetry, I'm gonna add a lamp to each side. And then to the center, I want to add a little bit of more whimsy. I'm bringing back some bunnies that I've had so long. They are my Hear No Evil, See No Evil, and Speak No Evil. Now I could just add them in a row right here. However, I want to elevate the middle one a little bit. So first I'm going to place this beaded cake stand down. Then I can add the other 2. Now I could leave it just like this. However, I've got a little bit of room on each side of the bunnies, and we need a pop of color other than green. How about I add one of these on each side? Now let's do something down on the bottom shelf. I know a few of you would really like to see me do something asymmetrical. However, I think I'm gonna stick to my love for symmetry and go grab a couple of baskets. Now I still have room for something in the middle, hopefully something that will hide the outlet back there. That's where I think a couple of these really pretty boxes will come in handy. I found these at HomeGoods, and I shared them with you when I took you on a tour of HomeGoods a couple of weeks ago. I'll link that video down below in case you'd like to take a look. Okay, well I like the boxes here. I don't like that I can still see the outlet. So let me fix that. By opening it up and adding a little bit of greenery, you're giving it a bit of interest, and it does help to conceal the outlet a little bit better. We've got one more piece to decorate, and that is this vintage secretary. I found it in South Carolina maybe 15 years ago. It had a mahogany stain when we purchased it, and I eventually painted it with Annie Sloan's, I think it was old white or white linen. I cannot even remember the name, but it's been that way ever since. These little French postcard canvas is cute. I found them at TJ Maxx several years ago and have not been able to find duplicates, but if I ever do, I will be sure to let you know. Brought in little pictures in varying sizes and these adorable matching bunnies. And then to give your eye a place to rest, I put this piece right in the middle, added a bit of faux ivy and a few little eggs. Thanks so much for joining me today. As always, I really appreciate your company. I would also appreciate it if you would consider subscribing to my channel. Have a great week and a happy Easter.